How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh, how we've been bad. I thought we'd get to see forever, but forever's gone away.
This is the extended remix version.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. What's up? It's your boy Big Ranch. I'm with you from the shadow of the big house in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Kicking off the long-awaited season finale of the 2020-2021 Michigan men's basketball team recap and reaction show. Oh, friends, I was hoping that this episode would be taking place later in the year, but you know what? It wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. I don't want to blame anyone. I don't want to dwell on sadness. I want to just revel in the memories of what we had this past season. Joining us to do that, first, as always, the El Productor, the one, the only, Jay Bissell.
Yo, let's make sure every shot counts, literally and figuratively, as part of our dance to get rid of COVID. Make sure you get your shot. Clearly, Michigan lost their shot. Go onwards.
Wow, producer Jay Bizzle coming off hot right off the get-go. I see what you did there. Okay, don't miss your shots. You're so clever. Anyway, moving on. Next, joining us from a secret lair. He's returned from the one-star Yelp-reviewed Crystal Springs Resort with the most downtrodden petting zoo in the history of petting zoos. But there's only 3 types of animals there. 2 of them were stuffed. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's life. You get what you pay for. The one, the only, RLB, Real Life Boogie, JC from Sunnyside.
What's going on, Big Reg? What's going on? No longer in the supine position, back erect, as Nameless Guest calls it. The Real Life Boogie, ever since you mentioned it, I'm seeing trailers for that movie everywhere I look. And I'm not sure if it's connected to me being called Boogie, but just a final tip. This is the season finale. I got to give one final tip. Boys and girls, I know you're waiting for this. This is just, you don't need any fancy dribbling, just a quick jab step, right? Get the defender on their heels, jab step, and just go tuck your elbow in from the triple threat position and just make that shot. Boys and girls, put all 3 tips together. It's been a great season. Looking forward to talking more about it in the next tight 10.
What the heck? Oh, yeah. Wow. He's going to put out a new, addendum series, kind of like Jack Coran's basketball or LB's how to play basketball. We raise a glass to Asian representation in cinema. We hope that you take this chance to support Asian Americans in cinema and the stories they tell by watching Boogie, written and directed by Eddie Huang. Oh, man, that's... Next, joining us, he was about to go to sleep, but we bullied him into joining us tonight. We bullied him. But if you look, he's already halfway into his pillow. He's already got the covers on. He's about to fall asleep. We better get him quick. Otherwise, he's off to the dreamland. The one, the only, nameless guest.
Thank you, Reggie. It's either that or my Wi-Fi going out. One or the other. Something is going to cut this short for the nameless, maybe. But in my defense, today was the end of a glorious spring break trip, and saw a lot of blue out there in the land of Florida. Enjoyed watching with my Kalamazoo buddy out of Key Largo, who's connected to CJ Baird. Interesting fun fact. Blue everywhere, well represented. Miami, Key West. So that's about it for the positives. Next dude up.
Okay. Alrighty then. There's a ringing endorsement of the University of Michigan Alumni Club. If you haven't joined yet and become a member, please do so. Next, joining us from he looks spookier and creepier with every passing episode. The one, the only, Mr. Squarehead.
Reg, I'm still seething from this loss.
Wow.
Still seething. I find no positives, only negatives. And you know how optimistic of a person I am. So I find no positives. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, we had a great season. None of that. Or I just might explode. But good to be here.
I raise my glass to the consistency that Mr. Squarehead has shown all season long. Don't ever change. Don't ever change. And finally, the most controversial member of the panel. Oof. He is truly Janus, the two-faced god. He is truly Harvey Dent. I don't know what other two-faced I don't know people I can name, but he is that incarnate tonight. A graduate of both the University, I should say, I don't even know what it stands for. Is it University of California, Los Angeles? I guess it would be. A graduate of both UCLA and also the University of Michigan. The one, the only, the God that's looking forward and backward. You like that, don't you? Classical studies, baby. The one and the only professor.
Yo, I wasn't sure if I was going to be invited back. I think it was kind of an accident, but here I am. You may direct all of your ire and anger toward me. I can take it. I'm gonna take this win with a modicum of humility. So here we go.
Oh, the professor laying it on thick with the big words, huh? The big words, huh, buddy boy? Modicum. Oh, wow. Listen, I only got 1,100 on my SATs, so I'm going to have to Google what modicum means, okay? Holy smokes. Anyway, gentlemen, let's get into it. The Michigan Wolverines' magical run of 2020-2021 season finally come to an end with a defeat in the Elite Eight, falling to the number 11 ranked UCLA Bruins. I am still in shock over this. Final score was what? What was it again? 51 to 40.
51 to 49.
I think that's the most shocking part to me, that the fact that the Michigan Wolverines were only able to muster up 49 points. I'm just going to say this. After that game, I was TT. You know what I'm saying? I was like TT. And I expected all of you to cry for me. You know what I mean? And I was like, after that game, I was like, what is fake and true? I don't know anymore. I kept like knock. Where can I find these answers? I didn't know where to look to. I was looking for a breakthrough, but I couldn't find one.
Back to my original idea here. Every shot counts as my theme for this past game. It was brutal. It was brutal to see those layups fall off the rim, to see somewhat reliable, consistent players just kind of just acting weird. I don't know what happened. I think it was a UCLA curse or something that happened. I don't know. It was just shocking to see this team act the way that it did, even after, a blowout of FSU, and to come back to another team that was athletic and at least long in certain areas in terms of some players, but every shot counted and we missed our shot. I can't believe it. I was very nervous at the beginning of the game. I looked at my heart rate meter. It was like 149 when the game started. The game didn't even go. It was 149 beats per minute. It was crazy. Running around at the end. Can't believe we missed those shots at the end. I just.
Why were you nervous at the beginning of this game?
Because I had a bad feeling about the game.
No way.
Come on, man. This game,
No way.
let's be honest here. Nobody's going to say that UCLA won this game. Michigan lost this game. This isn't even about UCLA with a dominant defensive performance, or they had a dominant offensive performance. They had one player who went off the rails. And Michigan had what? One player, I think it was Hunter Dickinson, who had double digits. Michigan lost this game. They just had the worst game. Everybody played bad. It was just the worst game possible. And clearly, Michigan lost this game. UCLA did not win this game.
I'm not the one to make a very captain obvious statement, unlike Mr. Squarehead or Big Reg. But I'm going to say this: if you don't make your shots, you're not going to win the game. Franz Wagner, 1 for 10. Mike Smith, 1 for 7. Eli Brooks, 3 for 8. They combined for 4 for 25. That's 16% shooting from 3 starters. How are you going to win the game? And despite that, we were still in it. Now, first half, we were making turnovers, some bonehead plays. We made some halftime adjustments to go back through the bigs.
Yeah.
We got back in the game. We benched Mike Smith. Like I said, I told Jawan must have heard me. Bench Mike Smith. And because of that, we got back in the game. And still with 4 for 25 shooting, 6 for 11 from the free throw line, we still had several shots at the end to win the game. We just fell short. So we lost the game. But I don't think UCLA won it. We lost the game.
Yeah. So, hey. Oh, gosh. It's very hard to be coherent. This is my version of Big Reg feeling punch drunk at the end. I'm feeling a little drunky in the beginning with no alcohol, just no sleep here. But I was not nervous at all before the game. So I don't relate to that feeling, producer JB. But it didn't take long to get those bad feelings in the first half. That's where I felt like, okay, it is really feeling like a loss. Just even midway through, not good. That's when my nerves came in. So just much as I wanted to believe and hope and watch to the bitter end, of course I did see it felt like a loss first half onwards. Oh, living that pain with you, Square, all the way. Still paining.
There was a moment in time in that first half when we were up by like 7 points where I started feeling a lot better. And I was like, if we could get a run right here to push it to double digits, I think we can break their motivation and then it'd be over. But we kept not scoring. And Juzang just started going off right then and there. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not good. Juzang, had 18 at the half? And I was like, okay, they're going to make some adjustments. And then he comes back and he starts hitting more shots. It was hard. It was hard game all the way through.
Unlike producer JB, who just made a Captain Obvious comment of, hey, if we kept scoring, we would have won. I honestly I held out hope until the end. And you guys know, I texted you guys and I said, the way this game is going to end is how the professor predicted it, but the flip of it, where we were going to hit that 3 to win the game. And when Mike Smith put that up, when he went down and put it up, I thought that was going in. That was a very good look. And even when Franz put up his air ball, I thought that was a good look as well. But the last play, I don't know if that play was drawn up for Franz or he was a second option or what it was. He should not have been even the third option on that play. He was playing horrible. And just the fact that he threw up a wide open 3 from the top of the 3-point line and he airballed it, he should have just been a decoy at that point. I think that play call at the very end was a poorly planned play call.
I can't believe I'm going to agree a little bit with Mr. Squarehead. I think that play, the top of the key, Franz Wagner designed 3-pointer, a little questionable based on how he was shooting that night. Mike Smith, the pull-up 3-pointer, I thought he could have taken it to the basket a little bit because he had a defender on his heels. But, it was just a bad shooting night. We just couldn't shoot. We just couldn't shoot. And Mr. Squarehead, the other thing I want to say to you is you talked about your prediction. I mean, you made like 15 predictions on Texas. One of them is going to come. Come on now, Mr. Squarehead. You make a prediction every 30 seconds.
Yo, I think you guys have to give credit to Johnny Juzang, man, because there were 2 moments for me that were, those feelings of nervousness. So when you're talking about that in that first half when UCLA was down, that's when I felt really nervous because I thought it was just, the momentum was swinging totally toward Michigan's way. But Juzang hit some pretty important threes to keep the game square because it was a pretty, rough and tumble defensive matchup. And then what I thought was really weird was in the second half when he rolled his ankle and he sat out for a little bit. That's when the momentum swung huge. And that's when you started playing through Dickinson. And I thought that should have been the game plan for the rest of the way. But for some reason, I don't know what it was, the shooting or what it was, but, that should have been the moment where Michigan swung it back and took a commanding lead, but they didn't. So I don't know, man. Juzang was a clutch player in that game. And so, yeah, whether or not you think UCLA won it or not, Juzang was the MVP of that game.
Oh, boy. Wow. Wow.
Hurts to say.
Wow. I almost don't want to say this, but let me say it. Congratulations to the UCLA Bruins. Congratulations to Guy Fawkes, a.k.a. Javier Jaquez. How do you pronounce his name? I don't know the young man's name. How do you pronounce it?
Jaime Jaquez.
Jaquez, a.k.a. Guy Fawkes. Congratulations also to the point guard. What was his name?
Tiger Campbell.
Tiger.
A.k.a. Mini Marley. He looks like a mini Bob Marley. Who else?
No, they even brought out your favorite guy, the Etienne with the long hair, man, for 2 minutes.
Oh, gosh. You know what that guy looked like? Did you guys watch a Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
You remember the girl on top of the transport with the ponytail? That's what he looks like. That's like if you told me him, that dude, and that girl were brother and sister, I would believe you in a heartbeat. I'm telling you. I'll put up the picture in the post credit. But man, oh man, I was like, wait a minute, what the heck is going on right now? Am I watching Falcon and Winter Soldier? She was also in, of course, Solo, Star Wars story. So shout out to Star Wars Universe for giving us that. But anyway, getting back to this darn game, yeah. I think it's a little bit of both. Michigan definitely had chances to win the game, but they didn't capitalize on those chances. And we got to live with that. Flip side, UCLA did capitalize, and they won the game. The case in point, there was a series of plays. First, Mike Smith went down, had a layup opportunity, missed it, rimmed out. UCLA came down the other way. Juzang had an opportunity. He makes the shot. Then Michigan comes back down. Hunter Dickinson has a shot down low. he missed the shot. He missed the shot. So we can say all these things about Michigan lost it, blah, blah, blah. UCLA didn't win it. But when it comes down to it, Juzang made some shots. Michigan missed some shots. So I got to give credit where credit is due. Sure, Michigan played lockdown D on the rest of the UCLA team. I think the rest of the UCLA team had like 10 points or whatever the heck it was. I think the rest of the team totaled up like, 14 points? And I'm not exaggerating here, right?
12 points.
12 points, right? Juzang had 38?
28.
Am I right? Which is ridiculous.
Juzang had 28. Tiger Campbell had 11. Cody Riley had 4. Jules Bernard had 4. And Jaime had 4. That's it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Cody Riley, he was on the bench most of the game, you know? And
But that was by design because Michigan kept pounding it inside with Austin Davis, Hunter Dickinson, et cetera, et cetera. And the thing that killed me was Michigan got into the bonus super early in the second half. Super early. But they weren't aggressive enough in taking it to the hoop. They should have made the refs call or force them to make calls. But the only thing that I have reservations about, even with that strategy, is the fact that they shot 6 of 11 from the free throw line. So I wondered to myself, even if they did that, even if they were more aggressive taking it to the hoop instead of, doing what they did, would we even have made the free throws? Would we even have made the free throws?
A lot of missed front-end free throws.
Oh! Remember at the end of this first half when Mike Smith missed 2 free throws? Remember that?
Terrible.
Oh! I was dying then. And then when Hunt got fouled and he missed 2 free throws, I was like, oh! I was dying then. There was a lot of moments where I was dying because, again, when it comes down to it, we can debate back and forth. Did Michigan lose it or do UCLA win it? But to me, it's a little bit of both. And you can't stray from the fact that when it came down to it, a kid on UCLA's team made buckets. Juzang made buckets, man. And you got to give credit where credit is due.
Yes and no, Juzang,
Oh, man. Wow, this guy is just bringing up.
Second half. I mean, first half, lights out. I give him credit. First half, lights out. Second half, when we made that comeback, the guy shot 3 for 8, right? So we were playing tougher defense on him. He shot 3 for 8, and he rolled his ankle. So I don't think it was all Juzang second half. I think we were making some, we were missing our shots. Eli Brooks had some uncharacteristic plays, like he did some like alley-oop reverse layups. Like, what is he doing? Why are you doing that? Hunter,
that was often an air ball.
No. First half, he had one of these, that one. Alley-oop reverse layup when we were up 7, what producer JB was talking about. Yeah. We hit that shot, we'd be up 9.
Yep.
Hunter Dickinson also 4 turnovers. She scored double digits, but he kept bringing the ball down low, getting stripped. Guy 7'1". There's nobody else that like 3 or 4 inches, to your height.
No, but again, that was all first half stuff. Like, again, you can just tell that the Michigan players were pressing a bit. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that when they looked up at the scoreboard and they weren't up double digits, and then all of a sudden they were down, I think it kind of scrambled their heads a little bit, especially going. And then
Mike Smith. I'm gonna say, I think the moment was a little too big for him.
Ooh!
I think the moment was a little too big for him. Not only running the point, not only his shot, but his defense was terrible. Right? On the switches, he just played terrible defense.
Well, I don't want to pinpoint it on just one person, but I'll just say that the point where I thought, man, because even throughout the whole first half, I was still like, you know what? Michigan can still come back, take control of this game, and win it. But the thing that shook me was when we opened up the second half and UCLA increased the lead to double digits. I think they got to double digits, or at the very least 9, right off of the jump in the second half. And that, to me, I was like, holy smokes, it's going to take some kind of Herculean effort to come back in this one and flip the script on this and get to the Final Four. And unfortunately, we fell a little bit short.
I gotta disagree with you guys. I never thought we're gonna lose this game. We're not gonna come back. I don't know. There was no point. UCLA did not scare me at all anywhere. Even while Juzang was scoring 50 points, whatever he scored, 28 points, nobody else was doing anything. And to me, it was like, all right, so first half shots aren't falling. Fine, we're still going to turn this around. And like I said, even at the very end, all those 3-point chances that we've had, I was very confident that we're going to eventually hit one of those and either tie it or win it. But they just weren't falling. We lost this game. These guys just couldn't make a shot. But I still never thought that, hey, we're going to lose this game. I always thought we're going to turn it around and come back until the very end. And that's why I'm just so upset about how we lost this game, because it just didn't come back and they couldn't make that shot at the end.
I am also surprised that BJJ had no influence in the second half whatsoever. I don't know why they went away from him. I don't know. I mean, they were trying to press the Hunter Dickinson ridiculously too much, and we just became stagnant because everyone just stayed on the perimeter and then just dumped it down to Hunter. And I don't know if you can rely on that freshman, and I think it might have gone to his head a little bit in terms of like, I need to carry this team. And that was kind of disappointing to see. But come on, BJJ was one of our hustlers out there, and you got no love, no plays in the second half. And that was Sean D was trying to do his bit. He hit a 3 in the second half. That was good to see that happen. But again, yeah, on the tail end of the last 5 minutes, did you see any Sean D action happening? He grabbed grabbed a rebound offensively, I think, and then did something. But like nothing was set up. It was all just kind of disheartening to see. We weren't playing like we should play in that second half.
I'm not going to blame the refs. I never do. But the refs didn't help our cause. I think there were some calls that there was an obvious blocking foul on Brandon Johns Jr., the guy on the baseline. He didn't call, and the other ref at half court had to overrule him because it was so obvious. Those there were like 3 or 4 of those, that kind of like got us out of sync a little bit, that disrupted the flow of the game. Again, I'm not gonna blame the refs, but just didn't help. And I know it seems a little, like I am blaming the refs, and but.
Come on, man.
I'm not. Come on, I'm not.
Come on, man.
You're not, but you blaming the refs.
That was a pretty clean called game. I don't think there was anything with the refs.
Hook and hold, not called.
No, if anything, they called like that moving screen a few times where I was like, what? I mean, I think they called it both ways. They might have called one on UCLA, yeah, and then maybe a couple on Michigan, but I agree. I don't think the refs did anything to impact the outcome of this game.
That's just
I'll put it this way.
Grasping at straws,
No, but yeah. I'll put it, as far as the refs go, they called enough fouls for us to get to the free throw line that if we had made more free throws, we would have won this game. Right. You know what I'm saying? We were horrible at the free throw line. So the refs, all right, maybe they didn't give us every single call, but they gave us enough calls that if we had done our job of making 3 free throws, we could have won this game.
We of course we could have won this game. We had all those chances at the end. It should never have come to that. Is what's pissed me off the whole freaking game. It's like in football when you go down and you hit field goals and you get that sinking pit feeling in your stomach that this is going to come back and cost you. It's like we're effing flushing this down the toilet in the first half because the opportunity's gone. This is just going to bite you in the ass in the end. Pissed, seething.
Wow. Nameless is getting on fire right now.
Oh, Nameless is coming up off of that pillow, baby. Oh, yeah.
1 inch. I'm up 1 inch.
I was doing that for you, Nameless. I was going down the toilet bowl for you. I was going like this down the toilet bowl. Oh, my God.
All right.
But yeah, you know, again, but yeah.
Hey, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the original Doc from Cali. You know who we're talking about, Doc DH.
Oh yeah.
Good old Halo 4v4 days. He's out there gloating as well because he's got two of his teams now in the Final Four, UCLA and Baylor. I just want to give a shout out to the original Doc. And, you know, I hope one of your teams, to me, Baylor, because I hold grudges and I want UCLA to get blown out by 50 to Gonzaga.
Hell yeah.
But I hope everything works out for the original Doc in Cali, Dr. DH. You know who we're talking about.
Where's my glass?
Our homeboy.
You know, one thing that's not being mentioned that we have to say is, you know what? There's a guy who shot 43% from three-point land this year, who was a senior, a captain. We could have used him. And we would have been, you know, I think we would have definitely won this game with another guy who could shoot a three, who could make a basket.
Don't say it. Mr. Square is going to go ballistic.
Well, you know, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it because I want to see him go ballistic. Because you could just see, especially in that first half, like we were talking about, when Michigan was kind of self-destructing a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we were saying with the moving screens, the turnovers, this, that, and the other. It almost seemed like they needed another senior leadership voice on the floor to say, hey, take it easy. Take it easy. And the opportunity, like we were saying, that they had to push that lead into double digits in the first half, that slipped away, that could have sealed the game for us. Because here's the other thing, man. Here's the other thing. I didn't want to bring it up, but now I got to bring it up. In the first half, when Juzang started going on a roll, that was a lot of it's not lazy defense. I don't want to say lazy because lazy is too strong a word, but it wasn't locked in. You know what I mean? Like with switches, this, that, and the other thing. Juzang was getting too open too easily. And once he got those open looks and he started getting on a roll, because you got to remember when they opened up the game, UCLA, even Juzang wasn't hitting. You know what I mean? But once you started letting him open and he got on that roll, he never got off that roll until he rolled his ankle. You know what I'm saying? The young man, you know, played a heck of a game. So I got to raise my glass to that. And again, I'm not, gosh, all right, confession time. I was rewatching some of the old episodes. And remember that episode when we talked about what would you be happy with for this season? And I said Elite Eight. And the reason I gave for Elite Eight was because I said, you never know. You might run into a team with a kid who gets super hot.
Oh, come on.
And I don't want to say I know Nostradamus did into being, but part of me almost blames myself for being so premonition.
Dude, that he didn't beat us. So what if he had 28 points? If we played even a below average game, this game wouldn't have even been close.
But I'm saying
we played a horrible game.
Did not go off like the way he did. UCLA, we would have beaten UCLA 49-36, and we would be in the Final Four right now. But
if Juzang didn't play, we would have won 49-8.
I brought it into being in the universe, but maybe I did. And to that, I say I'm sorry. I apologize, and I'm sorry for being such a Nostradamus.
Oh, come on!
Oh my gosh, come on!
I think you know there's like a memory relapse here about I think the score that Big Red predicted, right?
Because I didn't think my Nostradamus about the other thing would override that Nostradamus. I had two Nostradamuses going at each other. The Elite Eight prediction, due to some kid going off who shouldn't go off, versus my prediction of winning by 25. It was
Oh.
the two Nostradamuses going at each other. And unfortunately, the wrong Nostradamus won.
Oh my! You can't triple bogey or quadruple bogey like 15 out of the 18 holes and birdie 2 of them and be like, "Oh, I had a great round." Come on, man. It's a 110. It's a 107 instead of a 110. Come on.
Perfect.
That's generous for him. That's generous.
Look at that slot angle coming down all the way at the end, baby. Look at that slot angle. They're whipping through. Oh, with authority. Holy smokes. Pitching wedge, 175, easy.
Okay,
Easy.
enough about your golf game. Let's move onward.
I wanted to see the Aaron Judge follow through.
Okay, so what are the feelings on this season as a whole?
Wow, that's a loaded question there.
I've been seeing a lot of people saying, "Hey, we started off unranked. We were predicted to finish in the middle of the Big Ten. We won the Big Ten championship outright. We made it to the Elite Eight. It's been a great season." And I say no. I say no, sir. If you had told me at the beginning of the season, fine. That's how it's going to end. But the way we played throughout the season, had a little hiccup, and made it to the Elite Eight. And the way we lost, this is the disappointing season. I'm just furious the way we lose to any other team. But to lose to UCLA, the way we lost, playing the worst game possible. I mean, it's not even one or two people that contribute normally that didn't contribute. Everybody just sucked. And the way we lost this game, this season was a bunch of crap.
That sounds very different from my first appearance on the show after that Illinois loss. Because I think Mr. Squarehead was pretty pessimistic back then. So I don't know. I don't understand why you're so angry now. They played above and beyond your expectations.
My expectations. I never said what my expectations were at the end of the season.
Oh,
This guy always
go back to the tape.
Go back to the tape.
This guy, you were dogging Michigan basketball the entire way, saying that we were crap and all this kind of stuff.
He said not a Final 14. He did.
No, wait, hold on.
So your prediction came true.
I never said this team is crap. We're not going to make it far. What I'm saying now is that the way we were playing and the way we played at the end that last game, it's just infuriating the way we lost. If we had lost to a team that was playing well and we played well, but we just couldn't
right.
Pull it out, fine. But it was just I don't know. I'm just still seething.
I do agree with you, Square.
I will not be able to get over this until this season happens.
Oh gosh, let's not.
And the original JH gets fired. Fire Harbaugh, please.
Boy.
It's hard to judge a whole season by just a couple games, like someone I know who's a polygon-shaped head. But I will admit, I do find this last game really, really hard. Like when Nameless had his moment where he was heartbroken on the Illinois game. I feel that now. Because, I mean, let's be realistic. Once you get into the Final Four, it was going to be a tough match, the next two games that we're going to come through. And I think if I could have just held up this one more time to point to this and say we made it to the Final Four, I would have been so happy with how the season went that regardless of the next game against Gonzaga, I would consider it a huge success. But despite that, I can't dismiss it and say this season was a disappointment. It brought me so much joy to see this team do the things that they did. They had heartbreaks too. I can accept that. But to see the real JH in year, what is this, 2? Is this year 2?
I say more like 1.5.
1.5. And he's already contending at the national elite level. The future is only brighter with what's coming. And there's even speculation right now that maybe Eli Brooks is going to stick around to be the veteran guard that we're going to sorely lack after a lot of people are leaving. Right now, I'm disappointed. I'm heartbroken, but I have hope for the future. I consider this a stepping stone. I thought this was going to be the year, the third time's a charm when we get that championship on there. But hey, I can wait 365 days to next year, and then we'll have this little run again.
I mean, yeah, I think Mr. Squarehead is a little emotional right now on a very, very tough loss. It was a tough loss, a game that we should have won, a game that we should have won by double digits. I get it. It's burning, but then you gotta step out a little bit and look from the balcony. You just can't be on the dance floor. You gotta be on the balcony. Right? If you're on the dance floor and you're in one corner and everybody's dancing really well, but everybody else is not dancing, you can't say it's a great party. You gotta look at the balcony and see the big picture. And the big picture is we won the Big Ten regular season championship. We have Coach of the Year. We lost Isaiah Livers, and we made it to the Elite Eight, which I also predicted that Big Rich didn't respond to, didn't mention when he reviewed the tapes. I said I revised my prediction to the Elite Eight, but I needed to say it. Big Rich didn't want to mention it, but I'm gonna go back. And you can't look at a season by only the games. You got to see what's happening at the recruiting level also, because you need to feed the pipeline of talent. And we got the #1 recruiting class coming in. And Juwan Howard, Coach of the Year,
AP,
Sean D. Brown, Mike Smith, the way those two transfers that they have to build chemistry with the team. Hunter Dickinson, the way that he grew this year, no one expected him to be All-American. Nobody, right? But he developed. I think it was a great season, a great, great season that we're going to be contending for a title for years to come.
Did everybody go?
Professor refuses to acknowledge that he's a Michigan fan too, so we're just
No, but you know what? That's partly my fault because I forced him. I said, you know what? If you choose this track of UCLA, you have to stay on this track of UCLA for the remainder of the tournament. I said that to him before the game. And he said, fine, I will stay on UCLA. So I can't blame him for picking UCLA.
For the remainder of the tournament, there's like only 1 or 2 games left.
Who knows? But
Come on, man.
He made his choice. So I have to respect.
What? If they played in the finals, you'd be like, all right, if you choose UCLA, you got to stay on UCLA.
He's staying on UCLA. He made the call before the game. And you know what? You got to give him props for that. So I raise my glass at the professor for making the choice and sticking with it.
A minority once again.
There you go. Here's the thing that sticks with me about the end of all right, well, let me say this. Season, for me, like I said, I can't backtrack on it now. I had said way back when, again, I've kind of predicted it. I said if we make it to the Elite Eight, I would be happy with the way the season went, especially since we won the Big Ten regular season championship. So I raise my glass to that first and foremost.
Wouldn't you expect a little bit more if you won the regular season championship of the best conference in the USA?
No, because again, I also made the statement in that same episode that sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen in this tournament. They call it March Madness for a reason. You might run a kid that
hedging.
Let's lay out the facts. Johnny Juzang came close to a UCLA record for the most points in tournament history, along with Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a.k.a. one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest player of all time, okay? Come on. That's how monumental his run has been. And that's what Michigan ran into, okay? Don't that's facts. That's facts. You can't facts. Okay?
That's not what it felt like.
Regardless of how it feels, these are facts. Johnny Juzang is having the tournament of not only his life, but of a generation. Okay, that's how well he's been playing this tournament. The thing that irks me the most about losing to UCLA is the fact that we are now kind of equivalent to MSU. We both lost to UCLA. And in a way, we are now NCAA tournament Eskimo brothers.
In a way, UCLA is a Michigan State champ, wouldn't you say?
Ooh!
Oh, oh man.
Again, I don't want to say it, but the fact that we have both lost to UCLA, us and Michigan State, it feels like you know, you got dumped by the same girl as your little brother. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, what the? Oh, it just leaves that bad taste in your mouth. It makes it even worse. Ugh. I've been drinking a lot of Knob Creek to try and get that taste out of my mouth. But I'm not gonna lie, folks. It's been almost a week and that bad taste is still there. So that's the only thing for me that leaves a bad taste in my mouth about this season. The other stuff, I'm really happy with the way that this program has developed. The fact that we've won our first Big Ten regular season championship in a long, long time. I don't remember the last time we did it. I don't. We've won tournament championships. But regular season championships that rely on consistency of effort and results, that's been a long time coming. And the fact that Juwan Howard has been able to accomplish that in his second season, I should really call it in his 1.5 season, is a great testament to the direction he's taking the team. And just like JC from Sunnyside was saying, as we look to the future next year, the talent coming in, as much as I feel disappointed about the way that this season ended, I still end the season with warm feelings inside and hope for tomorrow. Until that, I raise my glass.
I'm going to confess, like just about every other Wolverine, probably, that, I mean, we did not see this glorious season coming at the beginning. I mean, we didn't. As much as we all like to claim Nostradamus status and the next Oracle, whoever is going to claim that pedestal, okay? No one saw this coming, and it was awesome. But I gotta relate to Square at the finale. You do have an evolving and changing, I guess, perception of your team. You see how they develop. You see what the potential, you see what they're capable of. I mean, that is true too. So by the time you get to season end and you see the matchups, the grid, the way you're playing, the way things are unfolding, who you're going to, that is disappointing. I was resigned to losing to FSU. I was ready to just be, okay, great season, clap, clap. But it depends on expectations too. And that I do relate to. Square, I do relate to that.
Such hedging from Nameless. It's
what's the hedge?
Disgusting.
How is that not both
true? Let's put it this way. If we were coming off that FSU, you had no doubt in my mind, or your mind, that we were going to win against UCLA. Hey, if we played a 6 out of 7 game series or 7-game series with UCLA, I mean, it would have been 6-1, no doubt. Maybe they got that one win, but we would have crushed them. Every single other time that's possible there. That is the madness of this tournament. You cannot predict what's going to happen. No one, come on, even Professor did not have UCLA in the Final Four in his bracket. Neither did Doc Ham. Let's give me a break. He's probably never even watched a game of UCLA. So I mean that doesn't even count. It's unfair to judge a whole season by the tournament because who knows what can happen in the tournament. It's just that madness that happens. I could have swore we were gonna win in 2013 when Trey Burke blocked what's his name, Sosa or whatever, Pena, I don't remember what his name was, off the backboard. I thought Spike Albrecht was shooting out of his mind in the first half. I was like, this game's over. We're gonna win it. 2018, I was like, easy track through the whole tournament, get to the finals to Villanova. I thought we were gonna shut everyone down, and then what's his name? Vinny or whatever his name is, goes off for that. I mean,
DiVincenzo.
There's no way that you can just assume or predict or have this great feeling that you're going to win the whole tournament. That happens. That's the craziness of it. But how does that define the rest of the season? How does that define a program?
Hey, come on, man. The craziness of this okay, first of all, I'd like to not disparage the original Doc. I'm sure he's watched some games.
No,
Doc,
zero.
I got you. I got your back, Doc. But to say that this tournament is madness and you can't predict anything, so you're telling me that you thought we could have possibly lost to Texas Southern, the 16th seed, because there's madness in this tournament?
Never know.
No.
It happened
No.
before.
Oh, come on, man. You guys are not. No. Oh, come on. There are certain games. There are certain games where you're like, I don't care if the other team plays its best and we don't play our best. We're still winning this game. And that would have happened if we didn't play our best. But Michigan played horrible. This wasn't even like, oh, they had an off night. This was horrible. And that's why we lost this game. And you cannot tell me, oh, that's just the way the tournament goes. No. There are certain games that are guaranteed, almost guaranteed. I don't care if Juzang scored 30 points, 50 points. We still should have won that game.
I have to agree with Squarehead and Nameless a little bit in that this loss, it takes a lot longer to thaw out. It takes a lot longer for us to recover from. If we had lost to Gonzaga in the Elite Eight.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. But we lost to UCLA, a team that we were supposed to handily beat. So I get the hurt. However, balcony people, we're in the dance floor saying it's a terrible party. But if you go down a little bit to the right, oh yeah. If you go down to a little bit to the left, oh yeah. It was a great party. We just had a bad game against a team that we should have beat. Yes. But for the entirety of the season, come on, it was a successful season.
Yo, this sounds like this is a curse of the original JH.
Ooh.
This sounds like every season that we've gone through when original JH first came, and at the end of the season, we're like, hey, look, it's all right. You know, JH is going to make adjustments. He's got recruits coming in. Come on, man. This is why the original JH needs to go. Fire Hardball.
I can't even believe you're even associating this JH with the original JH. That's disgusting to me. And you're basically like a Walmart Wolverine. You're not a true fan.
Hot takes. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me call a timeout.
Get out of here with that. Come on, man.
Come on.
How could you dare say that he's that JH? Come on, man.
Come on, let's not cast aspersions upon one another. Holy smokes. Wow. Temperatures are creeping up. Holy cow. I feel like I'm watching King Kong versus Godzilla right now. Holy cow. We got to take it easy and remember, Mecha Godzilla is right around the corner. We got to take care of him, and we can only do that together, okay? Come on, let's take it easy.
That wasn't a Weber timeout there now, was it?
Whoa!
Oh,
Come on.
Oh, wow.
No, he didn't.
That troll.
Oh,
Wow.
shoot.
Nameless.
Dang.
Quarterback machine for his trolling. Holy smokes.
Someone's reliving the past. Someone's reliving.
Technical foul.
Claws are out.
Look, just for the record, hey, producer, I don't know where you're coming up with this kind of craziness. I'm not taking away from the season. Just because I see the last game the way I do don't mistake the fact that I appreciate the season. I'm actually full confession mode right off the top. No way did I see this coming. I mean, way better than I could have imagined. And for I know we haven't transitioned completely, but I'll say I think our chances were better this year than even how rosy things look next year with the incoming talent. Just because it just all depends on Eli. If we don't have Eli, I almost liked our chances better this year. So we'll see how they play. We'll see how it all shakes out again. But something magical must come together with the chemistry once again, and just they need to play. I mean, you just can't take for granted how that happens. And this we had it. We got the juju this year.
But
It was a thing to behold.
But even with expectations, like your expectations was also reset in the Big Ten tournament when Livers went down.
Yeah, whose wasn't?
Went down. You know, it was at the end of the Big Ten championship, the Big Ten tournament. So then we went to March Madness. We beat Texas Southern, LSU, Florida State, and we lost to UCLA, a game that we were supposed to win. It hurts. Made a couple more shots, couple more free throws. We'd be having a different kind of Shadow the Big House episode right now. But, you know, I mean, expectations were a little reset then too when Livers went down.
I don't know where the road is going to lead. All I know is where we've been and what we've been through. Ooh. If we get to see tomorrow, I hope it's worth all the way. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Beautiful.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, God.
You gotta remember, as disappointed as we are right now, none of the experts picked us to even beat LSU. Remember that? Everybody was like, oh, this number 1 seed Michigan, yeah, whatever. They're gonna lose to LSU. And they're like, oh, they beat LSU? And they're like, oh, okay. Well, you know what? Leonard Hamilton and the size and athletic ability of FSU, they're going to beat Michigan, and they're not even going to get out of that. And all of a sudden, they beat FSU. And then everybody was like, oh, we were so close to the Final Four. So close.
We would be filming in Indianapolis right now.
Yeah, man. I believe you.
Producer JB, you saw that throwback video that I threw up there on Facebook
Oh, man.
when we were driving from Dallas to San Antonio. Remember that, Producer JB?
I was ready to book tickets as soon as that game was over on Tuesday.
Remember Producer JB? At the beginning of that video, I said, yo, it's your boy Reg. I wasn't even a big Reg back then, but look at me now.
Oh God.
25 pounds later.
X-rated.
25 pounds later.
Oh God.
Please stand by.
Oh,
God.
Please stand by. Please stand by. Please
I
stand
was
by.
like, oh, it's your boy Big Reg. And I was going to have that
Oh God.
tight shirt
Oh,
on.
God. Oh God.
Tight
Oh,
shirt
God.
on and ride it all the way to
Oh,
the Final
God.
Four, baby.
Oh God.
But it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be.
It was only a 4.5 hour drive to Indianapolis. We could have made it.
Oh, man, I thought that song was the perfect ending.
What was the place we stopped at in the way? The barbecue place? What was it called?
Salt Lick.
Oh, Salt Lake. Oh, it was delicious.
Anyways, All right, what are we calling for the rest of this NCAA tournament? Who is going to be the victor? Call it out real quick. Go.
I'll go first. I don't care. I hope they all lose.
Wow.
Sorry. Maybe I'm too bitter.
I don't care. I hope all the assistant coaches come back. Sadi, Howard Isley, Martelli, and Eli Brooks. Mike Smith. I wouldn't mind Mike Smith back. We don't have a point guard. I know Frankie Collins is coming in, a freshman point guard. Zeb Jackson.
Zeb Jackson?
Zeb Jackson, a little wiry. I don't know. I don't know his game.
I think he can make the improvements over the summer. So I'm going to raise my glass to Zeb Jackson because he showed me a little something in the first couple rounds of the NCAA tournament. I think he's going to be able to step up and make a big transition in the coming year. So I raise my glass to you, Zeb Jackson, in anticipation of your big jump into the starting lineup.
Goodness, I couldn't even finish. And just raising his glass to whatever he wants to. Goodness gracious. Come on now. The season finale. I got my word in.
There's no more rules. It's pandemonium.
I just want the assistant coaches back. I think that's important. Sadi Washington and Martelli. Those two guys. Martelli, a former coach of the year at St. Joe's, right? Another coach of the year.
True that. Wait, so what are we doing now? Are we doing predictions on the rest of the tournament? Or
Yeah,
nobody cares.
Question.
Huh?
Zags. Doesn't matter. Who cares?
Zags doesn't matter. Obviously, Professors UCLA. Squarehead.
I'm rooting for Houston, the underdog.
I slam a jammer, huh?
He wants everything to be upset.
I'm riding the Bruin train. First four, the first ever national champion.
Wow.
Johnny
Professor,
Fubang.
if that happens,
The
I will
hot
pay
hand.
for your first round in this next golf outing that we have.
You
I'll
owe
put it on
me
record.
a year's
If that
supply.
happens, I
Yeah,
will pay for your first round at the golf outing in June.
and a year's supply of patchouli oil, man.
Oh, Team Whole Foods all the way. There you go.
and you have to wear shorts
Ooh!
for the entire show.
Oh, God.
So you're saying as we're golfing, I gotta wear those short shorts? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
baby. Yes.
Ooh. All right, you know what? I accept that bet.
I'm rooting for
with
Baylor.
that tight shirt.
Oh, God. That's disgusting. I'm rooting for Baylor. Hopefully, the Baylor Bears win it because, our friend.com. But also, I grew up in Austin.
Baylor's not in Austin. They're in Waco.
In Waco, bro.
No, it's close enough. It's only like an hour.
Oh my gosh. All right, you know what? I'm gonna throw my hand in with Baylor. Hopefully, Doc. Yeah, raise my glass to Baylor.
We can't let the professor win a championship before us.
We can't do it. Anywho, all right. That was our predictions for the tournament. Anything else we got to discuss, producer JB?
No, but shout outs to the people who commented on the last video. David Sung, always keeping it refreshing. Here's some unbiased, honest analysis. That's what you're gonna get from this. Kevin Lee, turns out Professor is the Delphi of all miracles. Unbelievable on that one. Who cares?
Wait. Do we know which David Sung it is? Is it my former workout buddy from the summer of 1997?
I have no idea.
Is that which David Sung it is? It is. I raise my glass to you, my man, and for helping me to get in shape way back when. Unfortunately, I've fallen off the wagon. Now I am about, 40% body fat. So I apologize.
And thank you to our other guests, our other commenter, Andrew Fowler, who predicted Michigan 78, UCLA 63. Unfortunately, it
Oh.
didn't turn out that way, but oh well. What can we do? But put your comments down below. Let's see who you think is going to win the tournament, and any things that you are expecting to see in the next coming year. Maybe even who do you think who's going to predict to come back to the team? Everyone does have a year of eligibility still back, so we could see some little flashes of things coming on.
There you go. Well, JC from Sunnyside has already quit the show. He's already left. Where he's went. Gentlemen, it's been a great season, regardless of how it ended. I'm glad that we've had this opportunity to get together, on a semi-regular basis to talk Michigan sports. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed your company, despite all the craziness that's ensued. I think it's been a heck of a time. So I'm ready for lots of that.
Get that UCLA out of here. Get that UCLA out of here.
Final thoughts before we close it out for the rest of the year.
Coach JH, the real JH. Thank you. Congrats. We're waiting for next year.
Anybody else?
Thank you, Franz Wagner, for a great 2 years. I think you're done. I think Livers, you're done. Thank you very much. Good luck in your
Thank
pro
you,
career.
thank you, Franz Wagner, for having the worst game of your career at
Oh,
Michigan
come
with the air ball
This guy,
thing.
holy smokes.
But I wish you the best. I hope you can play on the same team as your brother Mo, if he's still playing in the NBA. But good luck. Thank you.
Come on, Franz is all class. We love you, brother.
We do.
Never said he wasn't class, but the air ball is an air ball, and that is a fact. And the fact that he played his worst game, if he's leaving his last career game at Michigan, his worst game possible, that is a fact as well.
Wow.
Facts do not lie.
Wow, Mr. Squarehead trolling as always. We're gonna refute those trolling comments. I'm gonna raise my Wolverine claw to Franz Wagner.
Another
I'm
one.
gonna hope
Here
him
we go.
much more success. And anyhow.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone,
Night.
That's all
I
right.
came to swallows. I bit off too much.
And then someone's got to say, and to that you say,
Go blue.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Anyways,
Go blue.
gentlemen, we raise our bear claws and also our glasses that are now empty to the Michigan Wolverines men's basketball program and for the fine job that they did in the 2020-2021 season, despite all the hardships on and off the court, especially in this COVID-ravaged season. They did a heck of a job. Juwan Howard, the rest of the staff, and the team. So we raise our Wolverine claw and our glasses to them, and we say, Go Blue!
go blue, go blue.